Yes, guys, welcome back to the Antonio Mango football channel. And 12:30 Saturday, Newcastle welcome Bournemouth to St James's Park. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly what to expect from Bournemouth, and then I'm going to talk about how good, balanced Newcastle United are. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the like button to support this channel. And if you do want to be part of the Mango Fruit Basket community, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But heading into this game, there's a buzz around St James's Park at the minute. 9 consecutive wins in all competitions. Bournemouth are also in form. They're unbeaten in their last 10 games in all competitions. So despite Newcastle's form, confidence, ability, I actually think this game is going to really be tough and defined by small margins. Before we get on to Newcastle, let's talk a little bit about Bournemouth, because I've actually really enjoyed Bournemouth since Areola's come in. They've had smart recruitment, they play a wonderful style of play, it's energetic, it's free-flowing, it's fluid, and it's just great to watch. So their style of play involves direct, high-risk style of play, which involves high pressing and forcing the opponents into mistakes. And then when Bournemouth are attacking, it's all with energy and extremely direct. And they like to play off their number 9 and have midfield runners moving into space to support them. And even the statistics this season tell 1,000 words. They've covered the most distance in the Premier League. They're ranked first for high turnovers and shots after a high turnover. They're ranked second for most sprints. They're ranked third for high turnovers and third for direct attacks. So believe me when I say this, they're going to come to St James's Park and have a go. They're going to try and match our intensity. They're actually one of the few clubs in the Premier League that can keep pace with Newcastle's intensity. And then even their underlying numbers are great. They're ranked third for XG in the Premier League. They like to shoot on sight. They've had the second most shot, the second most shot creating actions in the Premier League. Like I mentioned earlier, their offensive play, it's all about attacking space and being risky with their passing. And they're ranked second for key passes and second for crosses into the penalty area. And their defensive foundations all a shadow of their attacking play. They cover a large amount of ground, press intensely. It's a combination of fast and physical ability. And then when they do press, I like to press in a 4-1-3-2 or their favoured pressing system 1-4-4-2. I want to touch upon our midfield three because I want to talk about them all individually and the individual qualities each other brings, because the balance of this midfield is absolutely incredible and it's just a pure joy to watch. And I actually think the game can be won and lost in the midfield battle, because what Bournemouth want to do is force you out wide, trust their fullbacks in one-on-one situations. But if we can take control of that midfield, then we can win this game of football. And let's touch upon Sandro Tonali for a second. A workhorse. He covers every single blade of grass and he's a true box-to-box warrior who's excellent in all thirds. And what I mean by that is he can be the deep line playmaker from deep. He can be the ball carrier in the centre of the pitch, or he can be the creator in the final third. He's excellent in all phases of play. And then on top of that, he provides midfield control and a defensive security, which allows Bruno to play further forward. And then touching on Bruno Guimaraes, I want to look at some statistics since the beginning of December. Since the beginning of December, Bruno's played in 10 games. He's created 31 chances. He's made 31 tackles and interceptions, and he's been involved in 8 goal involvements. That just tells you how well-rounded this player is. And again, he's another player that is happy influencing the game in all thirds. He's got the vision to play from deep. He's got the ability to carry the ball through midfield. And then what I think is his most underrated but outstanding qualities is his vision and creativity in the final third. So what I'm trying to say is he's an excellent passer and he's good at winning duels. But since he's been given that freedom to move into the final third, his movement's getting better. He's starting to pick up little pockets of space to receive the ball. And it seems like he's built a telepathic relationship with Isak, Gordon and Murphy. Honestly, I just don't know how you can't love this guy. And then there's Big Joe Linton, the physical specimen, the midfield enforcer, who brings a capacity of duel winning ability. He covers a large amount of ground and he excels in nullifying opponents' threats. His ability to mark his man out of the game is exceptional. But on top of that, he's equally got technical quality and he occasionally pops up with a goal being a box crasher. What I'm trying to say about this midfield blend is every single player can influence the game at any stage. They're more than happy to play in any thirds of the pitch, whether that be offensively, defensively. So if Tonali's caught out of position, if Bruno's caught out of position, or Joe Linton's caught out of position, you've got the other to bail them out. And that touches upon my last point, the application of them. The best thing about all three of these players is their application. They're hungry, they're aggressive, they work tremendously hard, and they run the socks off every second of every game. And that's why opponents are struggling against them, because the intensity they bring, the will to win, the will to fight for every single ball, no matter the scoreline, no matter what minute of the game it is exceptional. And I'm just so happy all three of them play for Newcastle United. But before we get on the forward line, I mentioned earlier that I think this game will be won and lost in the midfield, and I back our midfield against anybody. Coming into this game, if I'm Eddie Howe, I don't change much. We've built a winning formula with grit and quality, and that's the difference. But one thing I will say, we afforded Wolves a few chances last game. I think we could have stepped it up a few more gears. I think against Bournemouth, we're going to have to, because if we afford Bournemouth those chances, they've got better quality and they will take those chances. But I speak about the balance of this Newcastle United. We can be resilient when we want to be, but we can also be fluid and dynamic when we want to be. Let's take Alexander Isak to begin with. Clinical, composed finisher with an excellent profile, beautiful blend of physicality and directness, and then his sublime movement is what separates him apart. And you've just got to look at the numbers to show the form this guy's in. He's had the best shot conversion rate since the beginning of the December in the Premier League. He's scored in 8 consecutive Premier League games. He's only 3 away from matching Jamie Vardy's record, and in those 3 games there's Bournemouth, Southampton and Fulham. I don't know about you guys, but I'm backing this fella. And then I talk about our different blends and profiles. We've got Anthony Gordon, who brings a more direct ball carrying ability, the transitional threat that he causes. His movement inside channels is massively improved, and that's something that Eddie Howe's taught him. He's starting to move inside those inside channels, and that's bringing him more good timing in the penalty area, and it's allowing him to make better decisions in possession. So we've got Gordon, who excels in one-on-one situations, who can also be a threat in transitions. And then we've got Murphy, who's a selfish creator, somebody with great vision and underrated execution. Murphy's a player that plays to his strengths, and I think every single footballer should do this. What I love about Jacob Murphy, his first thought is, how do I bring the best out of Alexander Isak? How can I create for you to score? And that's such a selfless but beautiful characteristic, and it looks like he's on the same wavelength as Alexander Isak. Alexander Isak's best ability is his movement, so if Jacob Murphy can find him early, and that's what he looks to do, then Alexander Isak is always going to get opportunities. And then my third and final point of this Newcastle United team is the defence. And when I say we're so well balanced, it's unbelievable. We can be resilient if we have to be. We can be physical if the other team wants to be physical. We can be technical and play off the park if the other team wants to be technical. We can match the other team like for like, whatever they try and do. And when you only concede 3 goals in the last 9 games in all competitions, that just tells you how defensively solid we are. So let's talk about it. Lewis Hall. What I like about Tino and Lewis Hall is their positive application. No matter the scoreline, no matter what minute it is, they're always relentless. Their work rate is phenomenal. They're both tenacious and aggressive. And I actually think Lewis Hall has been the best left back in the Premier League this season. He provides width when Gordon decides to invert, but he can also underlap. His football intelligence and his positional and tactical awareness is incredible, and probably one of his most underrated qualities. But he can also play. He's also technically very good, and that's the same with Tino. His technical ability is outstanding, but what I like about Tino is his aggressiveness in one-on-one situations. He covers a large amount of ground, but quickly, and he recovers the ball as early as possible. They're just 2 excellent, phenomenal fullbacks that'll just get better and better as experience comes. And then we'll talk about with 3 centre-backs. Botman, Shaw and Byrne have all been absolutely incredible, especially Botman. I want to give him a shout out because he had an injury, a bad injury for about 9 months, and he's come back into the side like he hasn't been out of it. And since the beginning of December, since this run began, they've all delivered on all fronts. You could easily pick any 2 out of that 3 and they'll deliver for you. But they all bring different qualities that complement each other brilliantly. You've got Sven Botman, who's a physical specimen who I truly believe within time will be one of the top 3 centre-backs in the Premier League. He's got a good physical profile, he's good aerially, he's got good awareness, and he's a strong ball carrier. Then you've got Dan Byrne, who's just been eating up everything this season, whether it be long balls, aerially, or ground duels, and his ability in possession is extremely underrated. And then you've got Fabian Shaw, who is probably top 3 ball-playing centre-backs in the Premier League. So he provides excellent stability in the build-up phase, but he also provides defensive quality. So what I'm trying to say is Eddie Howe has built a team that complements each other, and I always say that when you're building a football team, you look at profiles rather than players' names. games, because profiles build partnerships and partnerships win games of football. But one thing I will say is this run will not last forever. There's gonna be a time where we do drop points, get beat, because that's the nature of the Premier League. Look at all the top teams. Liverpool lose occasionally. Man City have been absolutely abysmal, but even last season they did occasionally lose. And I always say I don't mind losing games of football as long as the desire, the application is there. But what I want to see from this team when we eventually do drop points, if we drop points, is how we'll react to that. But look, it's prediction time. Although I do think this will be a much tougher game than what we had against Wolves, I'm still going to go for a Newcastle United win. Got to back the boys. I'm going to go Newcastle United 2, Bournemouth 0. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you make of our run? Do you think it can continue? Do you think Isak can break Vardy's record? Let me know in the comments below, but I also want to hear your predictions for tomorrow's game. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out, hit that subscribe button to join the Mango community, and until next time, away the lads.